Hello and welcome to this week's Music Tech session, where today we'll be learning about melody and we'll be using some free web-based software called Songmaker to do so. This week I'll show you how to use the software first and then we'll talk about making a melody. In Google Chrome, type in Songmaker and it's this first result you want, Songmaker Chrome Music Lab. Here's how this piece of free software works. You have a big wide open grid full of white spaces and grey spaces with these dark blue and lighter blue lines running down. You can click anywhere on this grid to create some notes. You can even click down and drag your mouse over to create longer lines of music. At any point you can click this play button to hear what you've written. If you want to delete any notes, simply click each note to delete them, or for a faster method, click and hold and drag your mouse over the notes to delete more quickly. Almost there. Okay, so that was a very brief tutorial on how to use Songmaker to draw in some notes and to click play to hear them. But like me, you probably didn't like the sound when I clicked play of the notes that I'd drawn in. That's because they were too random, not enough thought had been put into it. So now let's talk about melody and how to write a really good one, and hopefully when we click play next time it'll sound much more pleasing and nice to listen to. Now when I use the word melody, I really mean a tune. It's the part of a song that you could sing back after hearing it. Now some of the very best melodies, or tunes, are actually quite simple. So let's look at just a few rules we can follow to create our own simple but catchy and pleasing melodies using Songmaker. First of all, a challenge. I'd like you to create a melody that goes from this red block here, or this red note at the very left, to this red note on the bottom right of the grid at the end of the melody. And I'd like you to draw a melody that links these two notes together. There's just one simple rule I'd like you to follow. When you click the next note, which will be in this second column here, it must be either the same note, so two reds, or the one above, like this orange note here, or the one below, like this pinky purple note here. So you can click the same note again, you can go one above or one below. Using this same rule all the way across your melody, can you end up on that bottom right red note? Let me show you one example of how to do it. There we go! I have successfully written in notes that connect that first red note to that very last red note by using that one rule, either using a note above, a note below, or the same note. Now let's have a listen to my example. And I'll click stop, otherwise it will play forever. I'll delete my middle notes. And I now task you with the very same challenge. Get from that left side red note to that right side red note. Oh, and if you're struggling to find these red notes, you can click and hold down and draw all the notes in so that you can see them. There we go, it's that red note there. I'll now delete the rest. And similarly, you can do the same on the other side if you're struggling to find that bottom red note. Click them all in by clicking and dragging down, identifying where the note is you want, and then deleting all the others. Those are your two notes. Go above, go below, or use the same note and try and connect the two. Pause this video, give it a go, and then pop back for some more. Challenge 2 is to still connect the red note to the end red note using that up, down, or same note method. But I'd also like you to add one other element in as well, and that's an upwards or downwards leap. Let me show you what I mean. So far, we know we can go up, we can go down, we can even use the same note. Now introduce a leap. So in this next column here, where I normally go one above, one below, or the same, now you can leap up or jump up to a higher note, or jump down. And then from this new note, carry on with that stepwise movement. Let's put another jump in here. And once again, continue with that stepwise movement. And look, I'm really far away. I need to rethink this if I'm ever going to land on this red note. So let's have another go. Let's do a jump here. Let's jump up. Carry on with my method. Another jump down. And there we go. I've completed it again with the same upwards and downwards rule and this new jumping or leaping rule where I can leap up or down when selecting the next note. Let's have a listen to this example. I'll now delete my notes. And task you with completing the same mission. Can you get from the left red note to the bottom right red note using the stepwise movement rule and a few leaps up or down? Let's say no more than 3 leaps. Pause this video, give it a go, and then pop back for another challenge. Great, so now your melodies are taking the following shape. They're often moving like a staircase up and down or on the same notes. And now you have occasional leaps up or leaps down. This is just like what happens in real songs that you listen to every day. There's one more thing we can add in for our final challenge though, and that's a leap across or a jump between notes. Let me show you what I mean. We're quite used to now composing using a staircase or stepwise method. We can do jumps up and carry on, and jumps down and carry on. So this new element is a leap across, so you can actually leave a gap or a space before starting the notes up again. And I've finished on the red notes like we want to. So here's the new element here where my mouse is. There's a jump across. Now, you can jump across to the same notes, or you could jump across and leap. It's up to you. Trust your ears when you play it back, and if you don't like the sound of it, you can just delete the notes and try again. Keep experimenting until you have a melody that you're happy with that uses this staircase method. It uses the leaps up and the leaps down, and it now, for challenge 3, uses a leap across notes. Let's have a listen to mine. So did you notice at this leap across, the music stopped? It seemed to pause. This is because what you've created here is called a rest in music, where the notes stop for a moment before carrying on. It's a bit like in a sentence when you speak, it's time for a breath. Or if you're singing a song, you still need to breathe between notes. I'll now quickly delete my notes. And task you for your third and final challenge to get from red to red using the staircase method. Leaps up, leaps down, and newly leaps across. Good luck and pop back afterwards for the final part. Now that you've tried that technique out, it's time for you to set you the final task. Now, as we're fast approaching springtime, I'd like you to write a melody that perfectly captures the feeling of spring. So try and make it bright and happy and pleasing to listen to. The techniques we've looked at today will help you do this. One last change is that I set the starting note red and the finishing note red. When you write your own song, you can decide where you want it to start and stop. My advice is to use the same coloured note though. For example, if I click and drag all the way down the left column, I can see all the possible starting notes. And if I click down the right and final column, I can see all the possible finishing or end notes. My advice would be to pick the same coloured note on either side. It could be on the same row. For example, you might choose this pink note here and delete all the rest, and the exact same pink note on the other side, and compose your springtime melody from there to there. But did you notice when all the notes are there, there's the exact same colour note just higher up? You could choose this one instead. This is a similar idea to what we've been doing in this lesson with the red notes. Let me now show you one final example using all the tips and tricks we've learnt so far to create this springtime melody. Choose your starting and final note. Let's go for this yellow note here. And I'll choose this lower yellow note, still exactly the same colour, but lower down, here to finish on. Now I'll put into practice all those three different rules: the staircase method, the leap up or leap down method, and the leap across method. I'll start straight away with a leap across. And then I'll use some upwards and downwards staircase methods. At this point, I'll leap down. And I'll leap down again. So there, I've just made it to the end using all three composing methods. Let's have a listen. Now that there's my first attempt. There's plenty of moments that I like the sound of, but there's one or two that I'm not quite sure of and I want to tweak further. And that's absolutely fine. You probably won't like the first thing you write down, and when you listen to it, you'll know exactly where you want to target to delete notes and try something different. You may have also noticed I had a different sound. I had a piano sound rather than the marimba instrument we've had before. To change the sound, click the instrument button here, which will say marimba or piano or strings, depending on when you click it. Keep clicking to choose different sounds to match your springtime melody. Let's try out woodwind. You can also change the tempo by sliding this button to the left for a slower tempo. Or to the right for a fast tempo. Once you're happy with your final springtime melody, here's how to save it. Click this bottom right tick button that says save, and this will generate a link for you. Copy that link and paste it and save it in a Word document, like this. You've now stored your song on a Word document, and at any future point you can copy this link, paste it into a web browser, like this, click enter, and your song will load exactly as it was, for you to play to family members or to continue making new notes. So that's it for our session on melody and using Songmaker to create a pleasing springtime tune. Now, it would be great to share your musical creations with other people. So you can use that link that you've saved and send it to your music teacher. You can send it to us here by using this address. Just make sure you read the terms and conditions beneath this video if doing so. And that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed using Songmaker to write your own melody. Join me next week when we'll be using a different piece of software for some new musical learning. Before you go, let me just show you one final thing on Songmaker that I think you'll enjoy. When writing your melody today, you may have noticed these bottom two rows here that I haven't mentioned. Well, this is your percussion section that you can add various drum sounds to by clicking either the circle or the triangle above it. Let's have a listen. You can even change the drum sound by clicking it from electric to blocks to kit or to conga. So feel free to explore the drum and percussion sounds when writing your own melody. That's all for this week. Goodbye.